Hello, welcome to Cooking with Dee Dee. I'm Dee Dee and today we'll be preparing red velvet cake. Okay, before we get started, we'll want to make sure that we have all the ingredients. The following is what you will need to make the cake. You'll need 1/2 cup of butter, 1/2 cup of butter flavored shortening, 1/4 cup of cooking oil, 2 cups of sugar, 2 eggs at room temperature, 2 ounces of red food coloring, 3 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa, 1 cup of buttermilk at room temperature, 2 cups of cake flour, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of vinegar. Now let's move on to the frosting. For the frosting you will need 1 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of butter at room temperature, 4 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream. Okay, now that we have all of the ingredients, now we can start on making the cake. Let's get started. First, what we're going to do is preheat the oven to 350 degrees. While the oven is heating up, we're now going to prepare the batter for our cake. The first thing you'll want to do is to sift the 2 cups of flour, and I've also added 1 teaspoon of salt to the flour, and now I'm going to sift it. You may want to tap the sides periodically to make sure that all of the flour goes to the middle of the sifter. And make sure you get all 2 cups of flour. And we're almost finished. Alright, there's your sifted flour. Okay, now using an electric mixer, you'll want to beat together the butter, the shortening, and the sugar until it's light and fluffy. If you do not have a mixer like this one, you can always use a handheld mixer similar to this one. So let's get started. Alright, as you'll notice, the shortening, the butter flavored shortening and the butter is at room temperature. So it's very soft. You'll want to make sure it mixes better and it's a little more fluffy. And now I'm going to add the sugar. And I'm going to mix this all together until it's fluffy. Okay, this is the consistency we're looking for. It's light and it's fluffy. Now we can move on to the next step. Okay, now we're going to add the eggs. We'd like to add 1 egg at a time and mix well between each egg. You can just crack directly into the bowl, but be sure not to get any eggshells in your mixture. Now I'm going to beat until it's mixed well. Well, I've added the first egg, and as you can see, it's mixed well. So now I can add the second egg. So I'll go ahead and crack the second egg directly into the mixing bowl, and I will beat until the egg is mixed well. Alright, next we're going to add the cooking oil to the mixture. Alright, now we're going to move on and we're going to mix our cocoa with our food coloring and make a paste and then add it to our mixture. Alright, so you want to make sure that you add these kind of slowly, add the cocoa to the food coloring kind of slowly, because it's kind of a weird consistency. All right, so that's the rest of the cocoa I need to add. And now I'm going to make a paste. I put a paper towel underneath because it's pretty messy and the food coloring will stain, so be very careful. Okay, I've thoroughly mixed the cocoa into the food coloring, and now we have a beautiful garnet colored paste. Now we're going to add this to our mixture. Get it all in there so we get all of the red and the cocoa. All right, that about does it. And now we want to mix it until it's mixed well. That is a beautiful color red. I think what I'll do is just scrape the sides a little bit. Make sure it's mixed well. Still see a little bit of the creamy butter mixture. And there we go. I think I'm going to beat it for a couple more moments here. Make sure it's mixed well. Next, we're going to add the flour mixture to the cream mixture, alternating the buttermilk. Okay, I'm going to spoon a little bit of flour into the cream mixture, like so. I don't know, I guess I'll do about 3 spoonfuls. And then I'm going to mix that until it's blended a little bit. And now I'm going to alternate the buttermilk. Pour a little bit in here and then mix till it's blended. And then I'm going to repeat those same exact steps, adding the flour mixture. I think I'll add about 3 here. And then I'm going to mix it. Add a little more buttermilk. Alright, now I'm going to add the last of the flour. Spin this out of the way a little bit. So I'm going to spoon this in here. Add a little of the buttermilk. Mix it again. Now I'm going to add the last of the buttermilk and mix it until it's all blended. Okay, now I'm going to add the vanilla. All right, 1 teaspoon of vanilla added to the mixture. And now I'm going to do the final step, which is adding the baking soda and the vinegar. So this is our little science experiment. We're going to add our 1 teaspoon of baking soda to our vinegar, and it should start foaming up. All right, looky there. So I'm gonna mix it. You'll see a nice little foam. And then we will add our foam mixture to our cake mixture. And this part we're going to mix by hand. Just fold it in like so. All right. Okay, now it's time to add to our baking pans and cook in the oven. You will want to use 3 9-inch nonstick pans. It's very important that you grease these pans well. You do not want the cake to stick to the bottom of the pan. So one thing that I do is I will line the bottom with wax paper. I take a sheet like this and I make a template. Using a pencil, I just circle around the bottom of the cake pan, and then I will cut the circle out. And here's your template, and I make sure I stick one of these in each pan so that it won't stick. I'm going to show you the technique that I use to grease the pans. If you have a better technique, that's fine. This is just something that works for me. I take a little bit of cooking oil. I pour a little bit in the bottom of each pan, like so. And then I will take a little bit of a paper towel here, and I will lightly spread it around the entire pan, including the sides, until it is greased well. And then I will do it on each. Move on to the last one. All right. Now that the pans are greased, I will add the wax paper to the bottom of each and press it down until it's flat. Okay, let's do it. To evenly add these to the pans, you'll want to just add 2 spoonfuls at a time into each pan. 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, and then let's start over. 2 more. Two more here. And add 2 more in this one. All right, we have a little bit of batter left, so you'll just want to do 1 spoonful in each until the batter is gone. 1 here, and scrape the bowl a little bit so I can get a full spoonful. All right, now I'm just going to push the batter around until it's even. Just twisting them a little bit here. All right, now we're ready to put them in the oven. Our oven's already preheated to 350 degrees. I usually put 2 tins at the top rack and 1 in the middle rack. And I set my timer for 24 minutes. After 24 minutes, you'll want to check your cakes to see if they're done. So you can insert a toothpick, and if the toothpick comes out clean, then they're ready to take out. If the toothpick comes out not clean, then you'll want to cook it for a few more minutes.